the 2014 Shannons Australian Motor Racing Nationals. What a season. And a big one too. This year, more than 400 drivers started 142 races in more than 300 cars. There were 12 of Australia's best racing categories, from those with open wheels to the most powerful, toughest cars around. It was a season that had everything: heroes, villains, a bit of comedy and everything else in the middle as well. So it's been quite a ride, and here's how it all unfolded. The Shannons Nationals has the Holden and Ford rivalry well covered and presented in both 6 and 8 cylinder forms. The Dial Before You Dig Super 6 touring cars had it all this season, including some of the very best racing we've ever seen. Gavin Ross, Travis Lindorff, Kane Baxter Smith and Ben Grice really did shine on this year and were amongst the stars in a series famous for one thing: door-to-door racing. He's coming whether he likes it or not. 2 wheels on the grass and he kept it flat. And Kane drops it off the road and turn 2, the leader. It's like one of those endurance races, like Bathurst Gricey off the road, massive slide and Ross leads. It might not have been door-to-door, but it certainly was wheel-to-wheel. Formula Ford's full-time debut with the Shannons Nationals was a revelation this season. Big fields and young stars of the sport conspired to provide thrilling racing and its own share of drama. But in this case, the kids really are okay. He's got the run going down into turn 6, final corner. A thriller.
Here comes Road. Dive bomb again, and there's contact.
Gone. Around he goes, lucky not to roll the car. Jordan Lloyd will recover. Hardiman from nowhere comes through from third and grabs the checkered flag with a move in the final corner. What an absolute thriller, and it all came down to the final corner. Another of the newcomers to the Shannons Nationals, sports racers made quite an impact this year with the light, fast Le Mans style sports racing cars putting on one hell of a show. It turned out to be an incredible season, one of the closest championship battles in years. And while Roger Ianson and eventual winner Adam Proctor weren't brothers in arms all season long, their battle was one of respect and close, hard racing. A real highlight of 2014. So up through the gears, wow, down through turn 1 for the lead. Huge move, massive move by Proctor, 2 wheels on the dirt on the inside of Roger Ianson. Where did that come from? From short, sharp sports racer sprints to the endurance side of the Nationals ledger, the Australian Manufacturers Championship brought the long-distance show to the Nationals this year, and it didn't disappoint. These long-distance affairs are races that people now really want to win, with strategy, reliability and raw performance combining together. The AmChamp year had everything from team rivalries to tears, and in the end a deserving group of endurance champions who, for them, nothing else mattered. The gap came down from 30 seconds to 12 at the line, but Berwick did the double at Wakefield Park, won both 200k races, an outstanding performance and a double win that ultimately got him not only the Class A title, but wrestled the outright AmChamp title away from the Sheridan crew. Porsche, loud, exotic, stunning, fast and really competitive. The Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge presented by Pirelli was a stunner this year, and it had a new group of contenders mixing it up at the pointy end of the field. It was a series marked by a trio of regular winners who weren't spending money for nothing to win. John Goodacre and John McCorkingdale doing their level best to beat the ultimate champion Fraser Ross all season long. Ross partnership car, Porsche right on the bottom, jams it down the inside. That's a huge move, right on the ragged edge of getting it stopped, but managed to pull it off, and Fraser Ross goes in front. Full credit to both these drivers. Racing weren't given. Was that a bit of a shake of a head there from Fraser Ross? The Shannons Nationals is all about diversity, and the Radicals had it in spades. A 4-cylinder racer this year took on the V8s in a year-long championship fight that went right down to the final race. The Radicals were alive and kicking this year with long-distance races and shorter sprints, pit stop strategy and 2 driver shows, all adding up to a good sports car show in 2014. Oh, wild sweep out off the road. Spinning, Medler goes and just misses the marshal's post. At the inside of turn 2. Oh, wow. That is a wild place to go off. Speaking of the show, how about the Formula 3 Australian Drivers' Championship battle between two young, great drivers? If the fight between Simon Hodge and his Blue Miguel and Ben Jerzakowski and his red Dallara made you comfortably numb this year, you clearly don't have a racing pulse. It was compelling, exciting, and of course, really fast. Australia's fastest racing cars and the Gold Star are back with the Nationals full-time in 2015. If this year's series was anything to go by, it's really worth looking forward to.
Hodge, I think, was trying to go around the outside as he did to Patterson earlier.
Oh, he's got him, Gary, around the outside and massive contact. That's a huge, huge move. There's nothing more Australian than Ford versus Holden, and nothing better exemplified that in the championship fight in this year's Kumho V8 Touring Car Series between Justin Ruggier and Ryan Simpson. Both were running down a dream to be champion, and while Simpson dominated early, Ruggier came on strong late in the year. In the final round, the pair raced hard and fair to decide the title. Holden won ultimately, but Ford were far from disgraced, and behind them, the usual wheel-to-wheel thrills and spills of V8 racing unfolded. It comes down to this at the final round of the year, and Simpson's hooked up, 1 lap to go. He's going to have a go here down the inside at turn 2 and gets it done. Went very, very deep, but wrestles the lead away from Ruggier. Some categories have all their rounds with the Nationals and some don't, but it would be remiss of us to look at those who made a fleeting appearance when they could, providing that they were far more than just bricks in the proverbial Shannons Nationals wall this year. Australian GT raced at Sandown and Phillip Island and continued the meteoric rise of Richard Muscat, though Tony Quinn and Garth Tander jagged a dramatic last-ditch win at Phillip Island 101 Enduro. Carrera Cup also raced at Phillip Island, and in one of the most bruising rounds in series history, a couple of V8 ring-ins put in one heck of a show. Nice sight ahead though for Nick Percat, clear racetrack, probably for the first time all weekend.
And here we go, Davies up the inside of Twiggs, so Twiggs getting monstered a little bit here. Warren Luff flies through as well.
And so we wrap up the year with a rivalry that has defined the Shannons Nationals since it was formed 9 years ago. And while the ongoing Tony Ricciardello and Darren Hossack battle didn't end up being the championship fight, they sure wrote some compelling chapters to their long history of going wheel to wheel. In the end, Ricciardello completed his drive for 8. Several new names and faces shone through in Australia's fastest tin tops. It's been a remarkable season. It was 7 championships coming into this year, and you wonder sometimes what the motivation is, what keeps driving them. Well, I think success is motivation enough, because title number 8 goes the way of Tony Ricciardello, as does the final round in the 2014 championship. What a year, what a ride, what a show. The Australian Motor Racing Nationals and their great partners at Shannons will be back in 2015 for our 10th season. But it will need to be a pretty epic year to top this one. And you only have to see the celebrations of those who won to tell you that the winning feeling really is something a lot louder than words can explain.